Hey folks, Brian Zach here, Nashville session drummer and live drummer, coming to you from my home studio here in Nashville, Tennessee. Question was asked on Patreon about choosing snare drums for a specific song or for a specific sound and tuning of those snare drums and how I go about selecting drums, a drum for a song, and trying to choose the correct drum for the correct sound for that song that serves the song. And it's I'll just say, I mean, first of all, I'm no like expert at this. I mean, I'm not Mr. Session guy. I'm not like what you'd consider to be like an A-lister here in Nashville, although that's what I aspire to be. I mean, you know, um, I'm talking about like guys like Near Z and Eddie Bayers and you know, Jerry Rowe. I mean, these guys are A-listers in Nashville as far as sessions go. Evan Hutchings is another one that comes to mind. He's more on the younger side. There's so many. Greg Morrow. So I would. This is a question I would actually ask them. Myself. But for me, and if you want my opinion, which is what you've asked, so congratulations. For whatever that's worth. Here's how I go about it. When I hear it, sometimes, it depends on the song. Everything just depends on the song. That's the first thing. So listen to the song that's been given that you're going to record. And there's a couple factors at play. The first thing is, okay, are there demo drums on the song? Like, was there a drum machine? Is there a pre-programmed drum machine? Or did somebody else record the song before you? Or is there any guidance as far as like, oh, here's the song we want you to record. Can you make it sound like the Red Hot Chili Peppers? Like, for instance, I had that happen to me once where a song was given and they were like, I want like a Chad Smith Red Hot Chili Peppers sound. So that really helps because now I can go and reference that band and Chad Smith and listen to some of their songs and be like, okay, I want like a high-pitched, ringy snare drum, like a steel shell drum or at least a brass or some sort of metal shell, wide open, tuned up. I mean, this would be pretty close right there. This is an aluminum shell, but so I would probably want to use something a little heavier gauge than the aluminum. I would probably use a brass shell. I don't actually own a steel shell snare drum, or I would actually use actually the first. So if I was given, if I was trying to make a Red Hot Chili Peppers sound, and like it or not, I don't care. The point is, this is just a sound that you're trying to get after. I would go with a steel drum. I should actually buy a steel snare drum at some point, because steel is a real sort of higher pitched, ringy, kind of piercing kind of sound to it, versus brass, which is a little more smooth and a little more rounded.